Hi, my name's Riley, and today I will be doing a review of the book There's a Worm in My Dirt by Gary Larson. This book is written by Gary Larson, and he is an American cartoonist who was born in 1950. Currently, he is 62 years old and was born and raised in Washington State. He is most known for his cartoon work, and he does his own illustrations. And his most known work is called The Far Side, where he imagines animals as humans and with humanistic characteristics. One of the ones he's most well known of is of a family of spiders who are driving in their minivan, and it's even completed with a little sticker on the back that has a smiley face with 8 eyes. So he's really fun. So this book is a super fun book about a family of worms, and the teenage worm is so unhappy being a worm. He just can't stand it, and he hates it, and he feels like he's in the lowest of the low when it comes to the food chain. But his father tells him, oh, no. Let me tell you why worms are actually the rulers of the world. And so he talks about all the different scenarios where worms are needed, and if they didn't happen, that things wouldn't be happening at all. I made this selection because I actually was in an environmental education class, and this was one of the books that was required for me to buy and read. And honestly, I really enjoyed the read. It's super interesting and fun, and I genuinely laughed a few different times throughout the book. I also learned quite a bit, and I really enjoyed the illustrations. In each page there's kind of a little hidden message in there, which is fun to look for and find. There's a lot of side commentary with different animals that they encounter throughout the story, which is really fun, and I think makes it really fun and less of a learning book, if you will, than like another nonfiction kind of book. So I think children would really be more interested in it, and it's kind of fun. It makes it funny, you know, and when you can interact with something, I think it helps you memorize it better some other times, you know. As far as facts that I learned, so number 1, that all worms can contain both the female and male reproductive organs. So they are able to reproduce with anybody, therefore they shouldn't go extinct anytime soon. Second is dragonflies, those pretty little things, are actually very skilled predators, and they combat mosquitoes and other nuisance bugs in the air. Number 3 is, as you see deer play and stuff, they are actually learning, and with every second that they're there and learning, there are new neurons firing, and so that are being formed in their brains, so they really are learning and becoming smart deer. Number 4, birds don't sing, but they're actually communicating to each other different things such as warnings, and or like come-ons when they're trying to get a bird friend, which is always fun. Let's see, number 5. While most of the ants are worker ants and go and build and gather food, there are a select few who are chosen to take after the queen and kind of be her little doters. And these are actually kind of called abdomen kissers, which is kind of funny, but and then, so number 6, so as most wildfires are actually quite a nuisance and caused by careless humans leaving trash and leaving flammable things around, including bullets that just catch on fire if it gets too hot. But actually there are some wildfires that benefit forests when they burn up just the debris and like kindling on the ground. It's actually called a kindling fire, which is actually pretty helpful for the forest. But those are normally a lot smaller and nothing like the fires we've seen in Montana and California this year. Finally, number 7, While I am terrified of snakes, I learned that not all are bad, and there's actually one called the king snake that comes in handy quite a bit. This one is able to smell out, and it actually focuses on killing disease-ridden rodents and getting them out of there. Because that's never good, because unfortunately rodents carry quite a bit of disease sometimes. So that is all my facts for today. Let's see. Oh, as far as accuracy, I think this author did a pretty good job. Everything's pretty accurate. The category of nonfiction, I would say it would be more interpretive, because there are some jokes and some subtleties that you kind of have to be like, well, they don't actually mean that, you know. But it definitely still has good facts in it. Let's see, our instructive. I think it's very good. It's an interesting narrative style where it's the father is telling the story the whole time. Let's see. There's not much of a pattern. Really what the story goes on through is making a trip around the forest and seeing all the different animals that actually benefit from worms. And it actually talks about a woman named Harriet who loves nature, but she doesn't really know anything about it. Therefore, she ends up hurting nature in many ways, where she thinks she's helping nature. So it's definitely, it teaches a lot in that way, because a lot of people think one thing about nature when in reality that's not what's actually going on. It's a very humorous book. I really enjoyed it, and there's a lot of fun characteristics about each of the characters in there. He's actually done a really good job being descriptive and giving each character something special about them, which is something I really enjoy, especially in a book for children. So that's always fun. And then in every single page there's so much detail and so much that he's really drawn and kind of combated with the words of it all and the actual facts part of it. I really enjoyed all the different all the different things he's brought and colors, and it's been very fun and kind of funny, and it just kind of shows how careless human beings kind of are in the nature world, which I think we definitely are. I actually had an experience today at Starbucks where I work where a woman yelled at me because I asked if we could reuse the ice cups that she gets every day, because she gets 4 venti cups of ice every single day. And so just kind of shows exactly how humans are treating the earth. So again, it's kind of an interesting cartoon work. It's not watercolor. I think it might be some kind of marker and pen style, but it's very interesting and it's very fun, and he has a super cool sense of writing, and I really enjoyed it. I think the text helped me understand more about nature in general, because I definitely learned some things. You know, some things that we just view as cute going on in nature are actually pretty important and definitely not cute to animals. So it's good to see that side of things. I would say that this book is definitely for like 5th grade and higher, just because there are a few things in here that are a little too out there for young kids, but I definitely think it's fun and it teaches a lot, and I really enjoyed it. And then I would definitely recommend this book because it's a good like nature book for kids getting into general science, and I think it's really nice to be able to have something like this where you can introduce the different things in nature and what goes on, you know. So I think this is a wonderful book, and I have already recommended it. I actually have a friend of mine who's going into teaching, so I'm having her grab it. And I have another friend who has a little boy, and he's super into science, so I'm gonna have her read it too. And I actually shared it with my 11-year-old brother, who thought it was a hoot and laughed at all the parts he was supposed to. So I really enjoyed this book, and I think Gary Larson did a wonderful job, not only getting the facts across, but making it fun and making it interesting, which isn't always easy to do when you're writing nonfiction. Thank you.